All right. Geek Squad charges $415 to replace a hard drive. Digital Gopher, Amit, thank you for submitting this. 2,133 people dug this story. And makes customer retrieve data files himself. Geek Squad, price to diagnose was $69. OS install $120. Backup transfer $99. No guarantee. Estimated repair time 7 to 10 days. And then he quotes it. 7 days later, they hadn't even looked at my machine. After 8 days, they begun to test the laptop. Read on for more. So I read the story.
Oh, this fucking boils my brain,
Well,
man.
let me,
First off, hard drives don't even cost. I just bought a 500 gig LaCie external hard drive for $170.
Right. So, okay.
I mean, it's not. This isn't a 5 terabit drive.
I have a confession to make.
Oh no.
I think I may have made this at one point. Don't jack him. Was that on camera?
No.
Oh,
Thank
God. He just took the bottle opener and jacked his bottle off.
It's because I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear this self-realizational moment.
No, listen. I was a tech support guy at Best Buy. I fixed the
Nothing
computers
wrong with that.
behind the scenes when I was 16.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I have to say, I can go through all the details about how this consumer got pissed off and how they got screwed and they couldn't retrieve the data and they hooked it up to a Linux box later and actually got the data back on their own. Best Buy didn't know what they were doing. They called the actual problem the blue screen of death is the reason why it happened. Anyway, the problem here is not Best Buy. It's not the Geek Squad. Well, it is the Geek Squad for charging too much money for all these different little miscellaneous, like nickel and dime your ass with all these different backups and stuff. But the problem is these tech support guys just don't know shit.
Of course not.
When I was in there doing tech support, and I'm not claiming to be the end-all in computer troubleshooting, but I was pretty good back in the day. Like, that's what I did as a job. And I went and did that in a test site and some other places. But there were some people I worked with that just didn't know their shit.
Yeah.
And I worked with like 4 other techs at Best Buy, kind of behind the scenes, fixing the computers. And I'd say it was myself and one other guy where we were both just kind of like, okay, we know what we're doing. Enough that, we could fix people's problems. Like, that's what we were there for.
Right.
And the other guys were like, seriously, if they couldn't figure it out in the first, 20 minutes, they would be like, we're going to have to reformat this.
Ugh,
and that was, the solution to, most of the computer problems. Oh, we're going to have to do a system restore. And they would tell the customer that, and in reality, they just didn't know what they were doing. They didn't have the drivers installed properly. They just had no clue.
Right.
So the problem that we're seeing here with Best Buy and the Geek Squad is that they need to hire, and I have that stupid A+ certification. I got that a long time ago.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. Anybody can read a book, and you need to really come up with some way to qualify these people before you hire them and actually get really good, solid candidates and people that are working that understand how to fix real-world problems that are happening on people's computers.
Agreed. And the problem is that there's there's no way to do that. I mean, because so many people are like, well, I know I can, set up my own computer when the USB modem doesn't work. I can figure it out. Like, oh, geez.
She's very hot.
But the problem is that it's like a step further to be a tech support person. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you really got to know how to troubleshoot. You have to have logic. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff that you have to know.
It all comes down to logic. Well, it comes down to you have to be willing to spend 2 hours figuring out the dumbest problem just so that you have that nugget of knowledge. Like, there was times when we were at Best Buy and when I was working at the test site and a few other places doing tech support on computers where the easy solution is always, yes, let's reformat this, let's start over from scratch, let's reinstall the applications, and I will get out the door, complete my project, and be done with this faster.
Right.
But if you spend the time and you really drill down to what the root of the problem is, you figure it out, you have that bit of knowledge for the next time you encounter that problem. Right. And a lot of techs will spend 20 minutes and give up. And you can't be afraid to ask questions either. Like people that have run into those problems before.
Well, but then you get into the whole thing of the sort of like factory line of what you do, where you're going, I don't really want to do this for a living. I don't like people. You know what I mean? You're getting a call and you're like, oh, fine, I'm going down. And then the people who you go to fix their computer, most of the time they've already hit a wall. They're already pissed that they can't fix it themselves.
Right.
I mean, when I worked at Rand doing tech support, these were some of the smartest people in the world. And they couldn't figure out why they weren't getting their email. And then they call me, and I'm like this 22-year-old kid from college who's like, blah, 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 I can fix it. And they were just pissed as soon as I got in the room.
Oh, absolutely. And that's part of the job too. I mean, when I remember when I was at the test site and I would sit down with people and I'd be like, all right, you want to get some coffee or something? It's going to take me a few minutes. Just let me have a look and see what's going on. And it felt good. It was a really good, rewarding sensation to actually sit down and fix someone's computer.
Yeah.
I love that.